they can make somewhere between a 0 and a bunch, right? Because then you said, I don't know your skill sets, I don't know your credibility. How much skill set did you have when you joined network marketing?
Well, I didn't have a lot of skill set.
Okay. How much credibility did you have in and around network marketing?
I had 0. I mean, I was a blue-collar worker.
Me too. When I started, I had 18 jobs in the 4 years prior to starting in network marketing. I had 0 skill set and 0 credibility. So when he mentions that, I just make the point because when he mentions that, that's not a prerequisite for joining. He's just saying that with some skills and with some credibility, you can get a quicker start. That doesn't mean you're going to get a longer finish. A lot of times, the reason why you hear so many rags to riches story is we're so grateful. You know, people like us that didn't have big backgrounds and experience and options, choices, when we found our home inside of this profession, we were so grateful that we could develop a skill set that would get paid, the amount of money that we could get paid. So we were willing to work through some of the initial pain to develop the skills. We were willing to become more attractive so we could increase our influence. Okay? A lot of people who have skills and influence, they come in and they're a little bit cool. They're a little bit, the too cool disease has set in, and they've forgotten how to work, and they've forgotten how to be grateful, and they've forgotten how to learn something new. They've developed their skills in one area of their life, but they forgot that when they join a new profession, there are some different skills you have to develop. So sometimes they've lost that learning muscle in their brain. Have you seen that with some people?
Absolutely. You know, when it's all said and done, there's usually a lot more said than done. When you get these people that are,
that's good.
You know, they're gonna knock the ball out of the park. I mean, they've got, and those are the ones that typically I end up finding fall by the wayside.
I was talking with Dan McCormick last week, and he said, "Don't you hate it when somebody says, 'Oh, you're going to make a lot of money off of me'?" I was like, "Oh man,
that's the first red flag."
It's so true. It's so true. All right, so let's go back to your. I paused you in the middle because there's some good nuggets in your story, but let's go back to when you were talking about just getting started. Okay, so you come with you're working at the potato chip factory,
correct?
As the supervisor in maintenance, okay, fixing stuff.
Yeah, fixing.
And where was this at the time?
Perham, Minnesota.
Perham, Minnesota. Population?
2,000.
2,000. So anybody who's out there saying you can't do it in a small town, there's only a million examples of that being not true. But so you join, and you go home and you tell your soon-to-be wife that hey, we found a new business. She thinks you're crazy, and then what happens?
Well, you know, as you mentioned, I didn't have the skill set. I didn't have any credibility. Young guy, but what I did have was a commitment, and I had a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement, and which comes back to that people buying people. I mean, I kind of make a joke about it, but when I would sit down with people, you know, they didn't know what I was doing, but they wanted to do it too.
Why did you have so much enthusiasm? Did you have that in your regular life? Was that just a natural thing about you?
No, it wasn't, and I mean, because it's not normal for most people to have enthusiasm about what they do.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that made it so attractive, because you know, people get, you know, stuck in that rut of life in that job, and they completely lose their dream or their focus. And so, I mean, that's the thing that's so exciting about this business, is to see that sparkle in someone's eye, that hope, right, you know, for the future. And it really puts power in the present, where, I mean, people become unstoppable. And that was me.
Let me pause you for 1 second. The enthusiasm thing. There's a lot of people that are watching this program that consider themselves professionals or professionals in training, and you haven't had that enthusiasm for a long time. You have all the answers, and you're going through the motions, and you're very logical, and you're very methodical, and you haven't jumped up and down in 5 years. you haven't gotten excited about what you're doing in a long time. You're just kind of cool about it. You have the answers and all this stuff. You have the skills, but without the passion. What attracts people, like you said, they didn't even know what you were doing, but they wanted to do it because you got excited.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so pay attention to that.